No, I saw him a couple times last year. He's pretty good pitcher. Ability to throw all those pitches for strikes and add and subtract the fastball too. So, when he needs to get to it, he can go reach, get 96 or 97. So, good pitcher. Had some chances against him, but just couldn't capitalize on it.
When you're facing guys on like that, you can do so many different things. What was kind of the chatter in the dugout? When the guys are trying to share different things they saw, or how does that?
Yeah, I mean, of course that happens every day, regardless of who's out there. But he made good pitches when he had to. The first at bat to Jason, big slider, and made a nice play on it to keep to go back and catch it, and we had a couple more shots at him too. But that's why he's done what he's done. He's a pretty good pitcher.
How impressive was Roark? He seemed to match him.
Yeah, good. He made one mistake to Martin, but a little changeup that was up in the strike zone. But other than that, he did. He matched him perfectly and made pitches when he had to as well. He just made one mistake and hung a changeup. So I think he pitched really well, though.
What has Roark showed you as sort of establishing in his mind that he's a real rotation piece, or is that still in the future?
Well, I think over the last year-ish, he showed us that he can throw strikes and he competes and he can do a lot of things on the diamond. He handles the bat well, feels his position well. So all of those things combined show us that he's a rotation guy. 3 pitches, really for strikes, an occasional slider, occasional curveball, but fastball changeup to both sides. Today was a little bit off. It was little command, but he made them when he had to make them. So pitched well.
Did he make an adjustment after the first couple innings? His pitch count was pretty high. It looked like he was kind of fighting himself.
I just think he found it a little bit. He was missing early with the fastball, but found it, and everything else works off of that. So he was able to go deeper in the game.
In the first, when you were challenging, did you know that Ron was challenging the other part of that play, or sort of how did that play out from your perspective?
I challenged the fact that he hadn't crossed the plate. He was initially ruled safe at second, and then ruled out after he came off the base. So my contention was that he was ruled out before he scored, before the run scored. They signaled that the run had counted, so I challenged that. Ron, I guess, was challenging the fact that he was safe at second. But once he motioned that he initially motioned safe and then motioned out, my challenge was that he hadn't crossed the plate yet. So when I came out there, we discussed that and decided to challenge it.
You could have 2 going at once.
Well, he's got the right to challenge anything he likes. The opposing manager does. But I just wanted to make sure that my eyes weren't deceiving me, that I thought the signal at second base was before the runner touched home plate. So that was my challenge.
Baseball came out with some numbers this week on the challenge system, about a third of the way through. It looks like there's 1 challenge every 2 games. About half are upheld and half the other way, and it only adds 1 minute to the average time of the game.
Really?
Is that a good price for getting them all right, or what's your view of it?
Well, I mean, I think it helps with us getting everything right on the field, and I think it's important for your team to be able to have that available to them. Today was an example, and sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's conclusive and sometimes it isn't. But to have it available gives you an option. And so in that respect, I think it's it's a good thing. It's if it's only adding a minute roughly to each game, then I think it's a good thing. I think everybody's got their feet wet too. I think everybody is kind of getting used to it from a team standpoint, from a player standpoint. Players are starting to understand that they can signal to the bench, and if we don't see something from the bench necessarily. So yeah, I think it's a good thing.
And anything about damaging the flow of the game, either from a fan's point of view or a pitcher's point of view or anybody's point of view, does that bother you?
There's been some lengthy, not delays, but lengthy discussions, certainly with New York, in some of our games. But ultimately, we just want to get it correct, and I think everybody's in that same boat. So if it takes an extra look, then everybody's okay with that, and we're willing to do that. And
Does this make
it's
you,
okay.
Does this make you respect the umpire's work more in that the majority of the time the calls are correct?
Yeah, it's a tough job. I mean, they're great athletes out there. The ball moves really fast, and so it's not easy to do the job that they do.
Matt, how is Gio?
Gio's good. He after the session today reported that he felt great. So we'll look to a rehab start in the coming days. But he came out of it great.
Do you know how Zim did today?
Yeah, 2 for 4, an RBI single and a double. He ran the bases effectively, went first to third, was caught in a rundown between third and home, I believe, and slid head first back into third with no issues. As he takes a deep breath, huh?
How are you doing the outfield?
I had 3 chances, had one fly ball, a couple of balls went out there, did fine. So he's got another one tomorrow.
You going to go 9 innings with him tomorrow? Is that the plan?
That's the plan, yeah. So he went 7 today. No problems. No more rundowns, though.
No more. First left.